So I've got friends who I went to med school with who are like, oh, you raised $8 million, you must be loaded. And the reality is, like, you know, my net worth's like minus £50.
So Chris, thank you so much for giving me your time today to tell me your exciting news. First thing is to say congratulations.
Thank you.
You've got $8 million of investment for Snap40.
Yep.
How did you feel when you got the news that it had all gone through?
I suppose firstly relief, because there's a lot of work that goes into actually raising an investment round. We're really lucky, we've got a really solid team, so they took the lead on a lot of that. But then it was more, let's just get back to work.
Now, going back to the beginning, you are a computer scientist.
Yep.
You then did 2 years of a medical degree.
Yep.
This is an unusual combination. Talk me through this.
Yeah, so I did computer science in Glasgow, loved it, loved the ability to create and make things. Didn't necessarily, so I'd set up a company before, it failed, felt a little bit lost about what I wanted to do. At the same time, I had a relative who was in hospital and was spending a lot of time around physicians, and thought, this seems fascinating, let's go do this.
So talk me through what Snap40 does.
Sure, so we put a wearable device on the upper arm of the patient, so they wear this both in hospital and at home, and then this is entirely wireless. We monitor them across a whole bunch of their vital signs, and then the whole purpose of the business is how can we then use this information and in future other parameters from this device and from other devices to try and bring the physician or some intervention to you way earlier than can be done right now.
It kind of blows your mind a little bit, doesn't it? Do you not get really excited about this?
Yes, of course, absolutely, all the time. I mean, if you can't build this kind of company unless, you can't build any company unless you are super passionate and excited about what you're building. Stuart, my co-founder, he's a PhD in computer science, and Stuart spent the last 10 years building super high scale machine learning algorithms within the human behaviour space. So there was a really natural parallel between this idea of how we do this and Stuart's technical skills. You know, I think there's a certain amount of naivety to what Stuart and I did. You know, we had no idea that this was going to be as hard as it was. And I think if we had, I don't know whether it would have changed our view or not, but you know, I think going into it, that naivety is essential. You know, the vast majority of our investment round will go on people, because
that's what builds a business.
Yeah, I mean, I think the success of a company is a function of its team. So, you know, I spend a very large amount of my time just focused on hiring and getting the best people we can into the company.
And is that talent here in Scotland, or are you having to go out of the borders?
I think it is here. I think it's not here in the volumes that we would like. We quite early on decided the only way we were going to build this team successfully is if we hired the talent wherever we found them. And that's worked really quite well for us.
Yeah, people are happy to work remotely and it doesn't impact on the team too much.
I think it's just a mindset. You know, once people get into the idea that it's a remote and distributed team, it actually works quite well.
What are you most excited about?
That's a good question. I'm really excited that we're now in a place where our product's actively going out onto patients and changing medical care, because it's really easy when you're raising rounds and when you're trying to build product and you're trying to get regulatory clearance, you just get so focused on the task that you forget why you're doing what you're doing and what your product's going to do. And you know, just last night I got an email from someone who's using our product, you know, actively on patients, talking about some of the benefits that they'd already been able to deliver, and that's really, like, it's exceptionally motivating to get to read that you're actually changing lives already, even in some small way. You know, that's really cool.